It follows the comics all the way, and I haven't read the full graphic novel, to be honest. And Nate'll hate me for that. Um,
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
I'm back.
Jeff is back.
Jeff's back in the hood.
So nice to have him back. What's up, Jeff?
What's up?
Yeah.
I'm good.
R.I.P.
What's up?
Nate.
Nate died, everybody. So
Nate died.
First year ever. He hasn't been on the top 5 list. That's okay, though.
Send your wreaths, send your roses. I'll forward it to his house.
Yeah, not a big deal.
You want to send that?
Not a big deal.
Yeah. This is our top 5 list of the year. You saw our if you follow the show, you saw our top 5 comics last show. This show we're doing our top 5 TV shows, movies, and video games. We got the boys back together, and
Yes.
about to do it. We're gonna kick it off with TV shows, I think. Jeff,
let's do it.
For sure.
Let's do it. Number 5.
Do it. Number 5. All right. Number 5, Silicon Valley. They just wrapped up the final episode of the final season last week.
So good.
And, if you're in a techie nerd and just into it, it's fucking awesome.
I've been told to watch Silicon Valley, but but it's been years since people have told me to watch it. Is it as good as did it end as good as it started?
What season are they on?
They're on season. They just wrapped up season 6 and did the series finale.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
And it is, and it is as good. They sort of, because they had the last season, they kind of Game of Thrones the last season.
Oh yeah.
Because it's,
I like that. That's an adjective now. Or a verb. A verb. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was still good. The last episode was good. It was actually they closed it out better and managed to tie up a lot of loose ends and side stories that have been going on for a couple years. So it was awesome.
Nice. Sweet. Corey, you want me to go? Okay.
I'll go. You said
go ahead. Go ahead.
Number 5. I'm going with The Watchmen.
Nice. I had it as a because I've only watched one episode, so I can't really include it. But yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. No spoilers.
I've watched 8 episodes, but I don't really remember the 8th episode too well, which is a key episode.
But up to this point,
it's really, really great.
That's what I've heard.
I'm loving it.
A lot of people like it, man. It's crazy. It might be Lindelof's best product, and I mean, from what I've heard, like I hear more people talking about this than well, I won't say Lost because a lot of people like Lost, but definitely more than definitely more than The Leftovers. People like this.
Oh yeah. It's really good so far, and it followed the comics. It follows the comics all the way, and I haven't read the full graphic novel, to be honest. And Nate'll hate me for that.
I think he'll get over it now that he's dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
He'll read.
We'll put a copy on his grave.
He sent it to me. It's one of his biggest things that he's annoyed with me about is that he sent it to me and I never read it. But I've read some of it and I watched the whole movie a few times, and
it's in that world.
It takes it to the next level, and it's really good, and it's unlike anything else on TV right now. And it's really great. I really
that's
like
awesome.
It.
I should have figured that Lindelof was the perfect answer to something in that Watchmen world that was created. Like he's like probably one of the best directors for episodic programming out there that would fit something like the world that's presented in The Watchmen. So that's awesome. I can't wait to jump in, man. It's just been crazy. I haven't been able to get to it, but
it should.
I know. I just watched the first Mandalorian last Friday night. So
really?
Wow. Dude.
I know. Okay, so my number 5 is Better Call Saul. I blitzed through like a season and a half of the series, and I loved it. I feel like if you are a Breaking Bad fan, this is just like simpatico. It's the same show with a little more comic overtone, but really the same feel of the show. So if you love Breaking Bad, you love Better Call Saul. So, and Bob Odenkirk is awesome in it. So,
what was up with your video, dude? Jesus. There we go.
Yeah.
What?
We keep freezing your video.
You're fine. Number 4, Jeff.
Number 4. So I put Game of Thrones as number 4.
Oh,
all right.
Game of Thrones number 4, huh?
Yeah, just because as much as we love this show, that last season was really just discombobulated and everything, and
it didn't make my top 5.
Yeah, I had to put it in there.
Didn't make your top 5.
It made my top 5 because of it went to 8 seasons, and there was some good stuff.
5.
I mean, there was still some epic scenes in the final
I agree.
season. So, I did give it still a nod because it wrapped it up. It wrapped it up like, like you have like a 3-year-old trying to wrap a pile of shit. But
clean your room, fucking asshole. Yeah,
I'll be the anti. I really liked the battle in the dark, the waves, watching the waves of the fucking enemies take on each other, and then watching Arya fucking come in at that dude was sick.
I
really liked it.
I agree.
Like, honestly,
I agree. It didn't make my top 5. There were things above it that were better, stronger to me. I
don't watch much TV.
Yeah, I felt like for as many awesome scenes as it had at different points in the last season, obviously the big criticism I'll echo here is that it just, like Jeff said, they just wrapped it up too hurriedly. To have the White Walkers wiped out in one episode.
The way Cersei and Jaime went down was terrible.
Yes. And the White Walkers, I would say. Even though
and what they did with Dany, her torching the whole city, I hated that. Yeah, I mean, there's
hindsight. They sit there and had characters do 180s without even without a build up or anything.
Yeah,
and Jon Snow walking off with the wildlings, he ends up that he didn't really have much impact on anything. He's going to go live in the wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
Corey, what's your number 4?
Number 4. My number 4 is gonna be. The TV shows is the only one I didn't write out, so I'm thinking about it on the fly. Demon Slayer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Throw some anime in there.
Yeah, some anime.
Very nice.
Some anime. Yes. Definitely the best anime this year, I would consider. Demon Slayer's great.
I've heard it floated about. Tell me a little bit about it.
I mean, it's about a demon slayer. Who
Wow. It's like Derby Girl.
It's illuminating.
No, it's about a brother and a sister. This is the plot, so it's not spoilers. The plot is it's a brother whose sister becomes a demon, and he becomes a demon slayer, and like demon slayers are elite, but he also carries around his demon sister in his backpack all the time. And
oh wow.
Yeah. And,
what's that on? Crunchyroll or Netflix?
I don't know if it's on Netflix. It's definitely on Crunchyroll for sure.
Okay, good.
It's super hot. It's one of the most popular. It's probably the most popular anime last year. Besides the ongoing.
Final question for you, because I watch a little bit of anime. I'm not obviously as in it as you are, but so what style of anime is it? Is it kind of comical or is it like?
Oh no, it's
graphic.
It's
action?
really good. It's really good art with a lot of action. I think you'd really like it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's gory, but it's brutal. I mean, there's.
I prefer this more serious anime. I don't know why. It's not that I don't like the funny cutesy stuff, but
it's my favorite
I prefer,
anime
like
of last
action.
year.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Sure.
All right.
It's the only anime that made my list, which is kind of surprising.
This number 4, correct?
Yeah.
Number 4, I got Umbrella Academy.
Oh wow, you still watch it, huh?
Well, I watched the first season. It just
That's
that
right.
one
It's
season.
the whole year.
Yeah. Yeah, it was absolutely. Yes, I loved it. I actually the only time that I felt like it kind of was a little off was last episode. It was kind of like cartoonish in some ways, but man, all the way through, I felt like it was just awesome. I didn't have really any criticisms of
Umbrella Academy?
Yeah.
That wasn't on my list last year.
You might have finished it before I did.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great show for sure. Yeah,
absolutely. I can't wait for season 2, to be honest. It's great. Yeah.
Honestly,
so,
what's her name though?
Ellen Page.
Ellen Page, yeah. Her first dance scene in that show.
Oh yeah.
Was phenomenal.
Absolutely. Well, the whole storyline with her.
Yeah.
You know, you're not expecting anything, and then you get all kinds of craziness at the end. So, cool. That is number 4. Jeff, what you got for number 3?
Number 3, I'm gonna surprise you even more.
Uh-oh.
The Righteous Gemstone.
Nice,
dude.
That's awesome.
That show is awesome.
That's the one that you've mentioned that I really want to watch.
Yeah.
Never even heard of it.
Oh man, it's on HBO and it has Danny McBride.
Corey, I think you'd like it. Yeah.
John Goodman.
I like Danny McBride for sure.
It's a comedy about Southern Baptist, televangelism.
Like fucking Billy Graham and Joel Osteen.
Yes.
It is so good. John Goodman
does the trailers. Yeah.
Oh, John Goodman's Roseanne's husband?
Yeah. Yes. And it's got Adam Devine's in it.
Okay. Okay. I like that cast.
Walter Googans is in it.
All right.
Yeah.
Character actor. Yeah,
dude, they're all their visuals are fantastic. Just from not
Danny
watching
McBride.
Yeah.
Danny McBride, he co-writes it, and executive producer of it, so it's off the chain with him.
Danny McBride, he's a funny motherfucker, dude.
He's a beast. Yeah.
He is.
So yeah, that is definitely that was when I started watching, and every week I didn't miss it.
I'm writing it down, Jeff, because I've been forgetting to add it to my list, and I am not going to forget anymore. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Righteous Gemstones. Check it out.
Recommend. Yeah.
Yep. Corey, what you got at number 3?
What were my number 5s and 4s?
Number 5 was
TV's the only one I don't have written down.
I think number 5 was Game of Thrones. No? No.
Maybe.
Oh.
Number 4 was the anime series you just talked about, Demon Slayer.
All right, we're going.
Number 3.
Mandalorian.
Wow, number 3?
No, I'm putting Mandalorian. I'm pretty sure I picked that for number 5. Did I not? Either way, Mandalorian. Okay, all right. Well,
you picked Watchmen for number 5.
Yeah, Watchmen was number 5.
Yeah.
Mandalorian's number 5. Watchmen's number 4.
Okay, so talk about Mandalorian with Jeff, because that's not in my top 5. I only watched 1 episode. So y'all discuss Mandalorian.
I gotta be really careful though. I don't want to. We can't spoil it. It's
right.
No, I feel like we're spoilers for this, right? We've been spoiling.
Yeah, let's lightly discuss the themes and not actual.
I'll talk about it without spoilers. I can do that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I really liked the first 2 episodes. It seemed like there was a story that was driving it, and I really liked the Mandalorian's really badass, and him with his people were really cool. And then since then, since the first few episodes, it seemed like there were kind of a couple filler episodes, but they were decent.
Yeah.
But then the last episode, it seems like they're gonna stretch this shit out, and they're kind of gonna all be filler episodes. So I kind of accepted that. And the last episode was really good. It was awesome.
I want to hear Jeff's view on it, because I know he's like a crazy Star Wars head like Nate. Jeff, you want to talk about it without spoilers?
I do, because what I like is they are basically, they have a clean slate and they're utilizing it to write stories within the Star Wars universe and still give some fan service by what they show.
Star Wars, right? To me, it doesn't feel like traditional Star Wars.
It's not traditional. It's more the grittiness and everyday Joe, kind of like Rogue One kind of thing. But they do some fan service in really well thought out ways, and not just heavy handed like, oh, here's a fucking Jawa, or stupid shit like that. They don't do that as much. It is taking a little bit to get off the ground with the acting, but now this last episode, it really just it
last
was like
episode was
awesome. It was
the one before it though was shitty.
I liked the one before. Now the
wannabe bounty hunter. The wannabe bounty hunter.
But where they were, that was a huge fan service. It was so fan service on that one that it was like.
That guy was.
We're gonna sort of tie some things back. Oh yeah, but
you know what I'm kind of wondering is if Jon Favreau, like, if he's a crazy Star Wars nut or not.
If this last episode, overall, yeah, I could see that for all of them. Everything, all the little things he puts in there,
right?
And it's like, and then you have the waste of like internet time called IGN that has to like sit there and beat over your head like, oh, all the Easter eggs that you missed, blah blah. I'm like, nope, I didn't miss them, but I didn't. I knew what they were when I saw them. I'm like, yep, that's cool, thank you. But
I hate IGN.
I know. We need some more websites.
Number 2. Who's number 2?
Are we doing number 2, or did we do number 3?
Oh, we did not do my number 3. My number 3. My number 3 is The Americans, which continues to be.
I need to watch that.
So excellent, and I'm not going to get into the correlations with today, modern society, but
no collusion.
but it is weird that it kind of synced up with it. But anyway, just like, if you like, it's not even like spy stuff. It's like like gritty spy stuff. It's not like James Bond where everything is fashionable and like clean and everybody looks good. This is like grunt spy work. Like they have to do unpleasant things, and they have to live with themselves after the choices that they make. And it just, it's incredible. And it's one of those series that gets better as it goes on every single episode. And there's no filler in that up to this point. And I'm in season 4 right now. And it is so tightly wound, the writing. There's just, the storylines are fantastic. They cross over. Sometimes things hit you like 4 episodes down, and you have to remember, and you're like, holy shit. So I cannot recommend it enough, especially if you're into like hardcore espionage. I think you got to. It's a must watch for people that are into that. So
I've been meaning to watch it. And I need to watch it.
dude, it's incredible. It's on Amazon.
Okay, I have Amazon. Yeah.
All right, number 2.
Number 2. So, just when you thought you were going to get through a top 5 without broadcast TV being brought in,
Evil.
Here it comes.
Evil.
I knew it.
Fucking
I called
evil,
it,
dude. Oh my god.
I will say this for you, Jeff, is that
I've never heard of it.
As much as I hate network television, that is the only show that I've seen a trailer for that I was like, I would probably watch that.
Every week, every episode they do, it's
super dark.
You're just like, wow, this is on like broadcast. This is on a broadcast network.
It's like The Exorcist on CBS.
It is, and it sort of it pokes.
Is it CBS?
Yeah, it's CBS.
CBS.
That's your favorite.
So it pokes. It tries to poke so many holes at religion, but then at Catholicism overall. And
that's crazy.
They're taking
shots at Catholicism.
And how it skirts the edge of a lot of the things in Catholicism and doctrine, skirts the edge of religion or scientifically proven. How can this happen? And so, and the writing is so fresh and up to date from week to week.
You gotta make me watch this shit.
They even threw in when the Epstein didn't kill himself whole thing was going on big on the internet. It still is. They threw that into one of the episodes when it was still hot. I swear to God, dude. Yeah, it was. I was like, damn.
And it's got Luke Cage in it.
It's got Luke Cage. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows Epstein didn't kill himself.
Well, yeah, I know, but but
we're getting into Epstein here, folks.
So when they did that whole thing too, it was right after ABC fired that one employee for dropping for saying some stuff like that on the air.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they're taking risks, and it is amazing for broadcast TV.
I gotta say, man, I'm being honest here. Like, I notoriously hate network television, but that show, like the trailers, the way they present it in the commercials that I've seen is very X-Files like.
Yeah.
Not in a sci-fi way, but in a supernatural way. You know, like I'm drawn to it. I got to be honest. Like
it is definitely worth watching.
That's sweet.
It really is worth watching, and it's one of the only shows now that's worth anything. And it's so different on broadcast TV outside of your cop drama and your judge, what this judge is going to do and what that judge is going to do and this lawyer is going to do, or which doctor can like cure fucking cancer in an hour.
Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago. Yeah.
It's horrible. So yeah, it is a gem in its own. I'm waiting. I'm fearful that they'll cancel it.
Well, I'm hoping that networks. I don't know what the ratings are on it, but I'm hoping that network. I always hope when they see a show like this that they'll try to get their own out and try to improve the quality of, the.
And it has the villain Michael Emerson.
Yes, from Lost.
From Lost, yeah. Yep. Ben Linus, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw him. Cool. All right, Corey.
Corey, number 2.
What's your number 2?
Number 2, Game of Thrones.
Wow.
Did you have Game of Thrones already?
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
I don't think it was on my list yet.
Oh, you were talking about Jeff's. Yeah, Game of Thrones. Because you had
Yeah.
You had Watchmen and then Demon Hunter, and then you had Demon Slayer,
and Mando.
Then you had The Mandalorian. Yeah. So Game of Thrones is number 2.
2. Yeah, Game of Thrones. Right. I love Game of Thrones. I fucking love Game of Thrones. It's great.
I do. I love it. Yeah. I saw the box set, actually. It looks crazy. The entire series, they have it in a box. It's insane. It's like $500 or whatever. My number 2 is The Boys.
The Boys! Oh, fuck.
That's your number 2. Let's be honest. That's your number 2.
It is my number 2. It is.
I thought so.
Honestly,
yeah.
and it
We have the
bumped
same top
everything.
2. We got the same top 2, I'm pretty sure.
And honestly, switched my whole list up. I'm putting Demon Slayer number 5. Mando's off the list.
Okay.
No, ignore that.
So,
It switches up.
You want to talk about The Boys?
The Boys is number 2, though. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I just saw the trailer for season 2, and I'm just like dying already. I'm like, I cannot freaking wait. I have not read the comic book, but it is Garth Ennis, who's the writer for Preacher. That tells you a lot about the show and how the similarities with the early seasons of Preacher. I feel like it's probably the best take on superheroes in 2019.
I guess.
Hands down.
Uncorrupted superheroes.
Well, that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
I like the idea that Superman is evil, essentially, like he's all American and a bad guy.
I mean, I don't like that idea, but I like to.
He was my favorite character in it. I love Homelander.
I love Homelander, yeah, but I don't like the idea of it. No.
Well, it's great. That's what makes it compelling, though. That's why I'm drawn back to it. Is that it's a subversion of
Homelander's a fucking weirdo, dude.
Oh, he is. He's absolutely a weirdo. Yeah.
More than
most. Subversion of all your superhero tropes and the ideas that you have. These like heroes, they're all bad guys, and the anti-heroes are the heroes. That it's just excellent, man. I'm glad that Amazon took a shot on it. It's gory as hell. It's probably one of the goriest shows I've seen in a while, besides Preacher, maybe. And I thought all the character actors were awesome. Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid's son is in it. He's the lead normal guy, and he's great. His character's great. Yeah.
Jack Quaid or whatever.
Yeah, Jack Quaid. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. And
he's fantastic.
Is Starfire.
Yeah, and what's her name from Jessica Jones is in it.
Oh, nice.
I don't remember her name. She was the girl they were trying to protect. That's the actress that they used. No, I would highly, highly recommend. I think Nate had some issues with how crass it was.
Yeah.
But that actually made me laugh.
He has some hot takes, man. He has some hot takes.
I feel like when you're watching a Garth Ennis product, you understand that the crassness is built into the product.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I thought it was great. I enjoyed how crass it was. Anyway,
Poison number 2 as well. Actually.
Yeah, that's my number 2.
I'm gonna shift my list up.
Jeff, drum roll.
Number 1, we already talked about it a little bit because it was a little preemptive, but Mandalorian is my number 1.
Nice.
It is.
Really?
One thing I want to say about it is that I like the. I mean, I just watched the first episode, but the tone of it feels a little different. It's not like a straight Rogue One, dark every day, but it has some similarities.
Well, what's nice is they're taking the Mandalorians, which the only time you ever knew anything about Mandalorians was Boba Fett. That's all, and that was like 15 seconds of dialogue in a movie.
Yeah,
and he's like this.
He's not even a Mandalorian. So.
Exactly. So I mean, everything that they're doing with the Mandalorians as a people, and they're taking some of the old canon that wasn't destroyed by Force Awakens.
Yeah,
and they're really diving deeper into it. And they made them somewhat like very Spartan. They're a very Spartan kind of thing, and some really interesting things. And where they're going with it, it's like, okay, this is kind of cool. He's got kind of the warrior code, and like I said before, they do a lot of fan service.
I like the building aspect in it. It's providing some lore that actually fits the bill, and I feel like is much needed in at least the cinematic universe of Star Wars.
And that's what they're doing.
Our episode's about to be 2.5, 3 hours here.
Might.
I think that
deal with it.
They're in a good direction right now because they're exploring untapped resources, using everything you know about Star Wars already, and just fleshing out those side pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's no. I want some kind of goal or something. Like,
well, there is a goal, but I don't want to talk about it. I was spoiling it.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
I mean, obviously, Baby Yoda's a part of it. Everyone has seen that. That's on every meme you've ever seen in the past 2 weeks.
I know.
But is he gonna? Where's he gonna take him? Is it just a story of him raising Baby Yoda?
I don't think
so. Might be, Corey. It might
be. I don't think it is. I want something more than that.
More than Gizmo, the green version. Yeah. I will say that I'll end it with this. The visuals are incredible. The fact that if you can't tell if it's CGI, and then they use a lot of puppetry also.
Baby Yoda is all puppetry.
Yes.
Because they did him puppet, and then they tried some CGI stuff, and it looked like shit. And so they went back to it's all puppetry. So what I really like the second aspect is you watch the end credits because they do like artwork from the storyboards from that episode.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's really old school Art of Star Wars kind of thing. And
I like the last ones. The last art.
Oh
the episode was and how it was kind of different from the actual. From what you saw, like. It was clear that it was concept art. I really liked actually those last.
And it shows that the Mandalorian, he may not be like the badass and just destroys everything.
Oh, he's a badass.
He's a badass, but he takes his licks too, and he's smart. And
it's kind of funny. Like he's in some ways he's kind of goofy when he's trying to learn to ride that animal. I forgot what it's called. Yeah, he was kind of goofy on that. I appreciated that. I like. The fact that they're taking some chances there. Yeah. I shout out to Dark Crystal because they started using puppets a little bit before we did in Star Wars. So that's awesome. I'm so glad to see it. Everybody hates CGI, when it's ugly and not done correctly. And I think everybody's appreciative of
CGI on inanimate objects works. CGI on people does not
Absolutely.
work.
Could not agree more. Yep.
I might disagree about that with a bit later in the episode.
Disagree later. What's your number one?
Number one, Legion, obviously.
Yep. Okay, good. I did not plan to have this. I don't know about you, but I felt like you and Nate were a little higher, and I was on Preacher a little bit higher than Legion.
Oh, but I knew you would be all in on Legion this year. Dude.
When I finished it, absolutely, yeah.
God, this year was amazing.
It was absolutely the best season. And the last episode when they play "Mother" by Pink Floyd, that solidified it.
So good.
It brought it home for me, and I was like, "This is it. I'm done."
Yeah. When it starts off when she's crawling through the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, that's like.
Well, Switch as a character was incredible.
Yeah,
all season,
amazing.
Yeah, all season.
And so was David. So was everyone. I mean, the whole thing.
Oh, dude. What's his name from Viserys? Viserys was in Game of Thrones. It was Daenerys's older brother, right?
Oh, Viserys. Okay.
Yeah, and he plays Professor X, a young version of Professor X, in the last season of Legion, and he's like the best Professor X, dude. I swear. He was awesome. He was awesome. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And very different than what he plays in Game of Thrones. Stylistically, visually, musically,
There were times when I was watching that show where I was like, pure bliss, dude. Like, it doesn't happen very often. Incredible. It doesn't happen very often, but I was like, this is fucking amazing.
I don't know what their budget was for this last season. I'm imagining that Noah Hawley coerced FX into giving him a little bit higher of a budget than he would have normally gotten because he's a superstar. But yeah, man, he did. They just knocked it out of the park. I just felt like they put a bow on it. They knew that this was the last season. They ended it correctly, and it was just fantastic. So
yeah, Legion's been in my top 3 since it came out. And our whole fear was that it wouldn't end great, and it ended awesome. It ended phenomenal. Like the way they tied it all together was just so great, and that's gonna be top 5 all time for a long time until something else comes in there. So,
cool.
Going Legion.
All right.
Boom.
Next up, we got our top 5 of 2019 movies. Best movies of the year. These are not just movies of the year, but movies that we saw in this year that we really loved. Obviously, the rest of our categories run that way. So, without further ado, Jeff, what you got at number 5?
Number 5. So, there was a lot of movies I saw this year, obviously, but I think number 5 was something I just recently saw. Was the Apollo 11 movie.
What's it called?
It's called Apollo 11.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So
what's it on?
It's a documentary.
On Netflix?
I saw it on a plane when I was flying across the country.
Gotcha. Okay.
So basically they took like all this footage from the moon landing and leading up to the launch of Apollo 11 and everything and made a movie of it, and you get to see shit that you never really saw before. It's like unseen footage.
That's pretty awesome.
So it was really good. It was interesting.
Archival footage.
Yeah, a lot of archival footage and stuff, and chatter from the mission leading up to landing and returning back home. Just all the chatter that you normally didn't hear. And
man, space is so scary to me.
It was crazy.
Oh, space ain't scary, dude.
Dude, the idea that there's just nothing floating for billions of miles is
that's where you're born from, dude.
I understand that, but it's just frightening. There's just nothing there. So the black void of nothingness.
Apollo 11.
Anyway,
good movie.
Apollo 11. I'm gonna check it out. Corey, what you got at number 5?
Let's blow through these. Let's do it.
That's what you got at number 5.
Number 5, Captain Marvel.
Wow.
Nice. Isn't that on Disney Plus right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe it is.
I might have to watch it because I
great
haven't
movie.
seen it.
I really love.
Nice. Look at you.
She's OP. Everybody knows she is. She is OP.
She is OP. Yep.
But that movie had nothing to do with her OP-ness. It was
just a good movie.
It was a great. I mean,
a lot of good
Skrulls are cool, and there was a lot of cool Marvel Skrull Captain Marvel stuff going on there. I really liked the movie, and it tied in really well
with Endgame.
With all the Marvel Universe movies, all the MCU movies. There was a ton of throwbacks. It was really
a lot
great.
Of Nick Fury.
Yeah,
a lot of 90s callbacks.
That's what I was going to ask
you. A lot of
you.
90s callbacks.
How heavy-handed was the 90s
Oh, my God, dude. It was...
I mean, they were heavy-handed, but...
There was some good shit. There
was some nice stuff.
It served a purpose then.
It did. It served some purpose and some comedic relief.
Good.
But really great.
That's acceptable. Yeah.
And yeah, it was great. And it's a weird take on Skrulls. It's different from the regular Marvel universe, and I really liked it. So
nice. Yeah. I'm anxious to watch it now that I can with Disney Plus.
Right.
My number 5 is The Irishman, Martin Scorsese.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. I've heard
I watched
really
all 3.5 hours over this past week, and it was awesome. I don't have to go into spoilers. It's actually based on Jimmy Hoffa, so
nice. Okay.
But although it's not a completely accurate historical telling of everything that happened, they fill in a lot of blanks. Obviously, it serves its purpose, and it's it goes beyond just your typical Scorsese film. It starts off that way and lasts that way for a good 2 hours. But towards the end, you see a lot of stuff reflected in, I guess, how old Scorsese is now in the film. So I felt like it was great to watch that. His take on aging, and the elderly. I just wasn't expecting for that. But it was awesome. I mean, those three guys, I like seeing Pacino and Pesci in the same film, which I think is the first time that happened.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was
split. Yeah.
Right. And seeing Pesci again after all these years was also awesome. And he's very unlike a Pesci character. He's not fiery. He's very laid back. Yeah, he's very laid back, calm.
He's not telling people to get their shine box.
Yeah, exactly. And your sack of nickels. Yeah. No. And it's on Netflix. Obviously, if you have access to that, just watch it. You can break it up into several portions, and that way you can, because it's pretty long to watch all at once. But yeah, great history lesson. Nice to see coverage of the labor unions and connections to the Kennedys and why Cuba, went down the way it did and all that stuff. Yeah, it's awesome in that respect.
Sweet.
Absolutely. Cool. Number 4.
All right, number 4, Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. Jason Statham and The Rock. Dude, it's fucking awesome. No, it was really good. It was funny. They did a really good job at making it, typically just like a street racing kind of like over the top action movie. It was good. It was really good.
Lots of chase scenes.
Chase scenes really well done. Chase
always
stunt wise and everything, and just the humor between the chemistry that the three main characters have is really good on screen. So everything was natural. It was good. I was surprised at how good it was.
Fast and Furious.
Loves those movies. Yeah, she would love that. So
I haven't watched a Fast and Furious movie since the first one, and
Tokyo Drift's awesome, dude. I love that one.
So I haven't watched a lot of them, but this one was really good. This was actually worth it enough that.
Oh my god! I'm about to leave the channel.
All right, Corey, number 4. What you got?
My number 4. We're talking about movies. My top 4.
What's your number 4? 3, 2.
My number 4 movie. I just found it. Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Oh, okay, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, good Spider-Man movie.
It was.
Yeah. Good.
It's, people talk about Spidey trying to be Tony and stuff, and it's whatever. Iron Spider is a thing. It was
side characters.
It was a great movie. It was a great Spider-Man movie.
It really was.
It was. All right.
Night Monkey.
This might shock everybody. I haven't seen Homecoming even.
Really?
I know.
Wow. See Far From Home?
I haven't seen any of them.
They're good.
Tom Holland's the best.
I know.
Tom Holland is the best. Yeah, he's the best Spider-Man overall. Yep.
Yeah. Far From Home was great. And, yeah.
Sweet.
Great Spider-Man movie.
All right.
My number 4 was Dolomite Is My Name. That's the Eddie Murphy film on Netflix. Basically it's the story of Rudy Ray Moore, which is 70s blaxploitation.
Yeah.
A la comedy, also comedy records.
Dolomite.
I haven't watched an Eddie Murphy film in ages because he hasn't really been in anything. Yeah, right. 48 Hours.
Yeah.
Or Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
No. So,
good.
Yeah, I know, terrible. But he was excellent in this. But the real star of the show in Dolomite Is My Name is Wesley Snipes.
Oh, nice.
absolutely incredible in this. He is not your typical Wesley Snipes. He's very, very
He's not
different.
Blade?
He's not Blade. No. If you could have Blade with a very gender fluid affectation,
Wow.
imagine, yeah.
Interesting.
Imagine Wesley Snipes doing that. That should get you to watch it just based on that alone. It was very funny, but really well done, and nice to see Eddie Murphy doing like a solid role again. Like I feel like he's poised for a big year coming up, and he's about to host Saturday Night Live again, which is crazy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think it's coming up this weekend. But yeah, check it out. Netflix again, bringing it home with another film. So cool. Number 3, Jeff?
All right. Spider-Man: Far From Home was my number 3.
Very nice. You want to say anything about it? You dig it?
It was. It did a good job to come back and to pick up where Endgame left off, because Endgame was such an epic.
They consider that to be the last film in the.
Yeah. So I mean. The only bad thing is if you went with people that hadn't seen Endgame, pretty big spoiler in Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. If
All
you
right,
haven't
cool.
seen, well, you don't care if you haven't seen Endgame.
Well, some people that haven't seen it.
What's your number 3, Corey?
My number 3?
Your number 3.
Oh, you don't even want to know. Endgame. Avengers.
Endgame. All right, that's my number 2.
That's my number 2.
Cool.
What's your number 3? What's your number 3?
Oh, my number 3 is Hereditary, which I'll talk about after Endgame. Right. So, Endgame, I would say, is the best superhero film probably of all time. I'll put it up there. Well, unless we get to number 1. But, yeah, I gotta say, like, full blown tears and goosebumps and everything else. Just, I'm reliving the experience in my mind of seeing it in the theater.
Oh man,
it was so magical.
It was such a roller coaster ride.
Yeah,
in the theater, you got happy, you got sad, you got God.
That was great. It was fantastic, man. I just thought,
in the theater, it was. I loved it in the theater, but just watching it last night, not in the theater, I was picking up on so many things, and I was. It's even worse.
Yeah. Picking up on stuff you didn't see the first.
Oh yeah.
It's sad. I mean.
Yeah. No,
dude.
I know, and it's hard. Also, the thing that dawned on me when I was watching it in the theater again was that this was the end of a very long thing. Not just, the 3rd or 4th Avengers film, but the end of the whole
20 years.
Up to this point. So it really felt like that. Like it was closing off this whole period, and what is next, like I don't know how you top that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. And they had they closed so many stories with it. And like Corey said, I picked up so many other things that I didn't catch in the movie theater watching it the first time. Because you're watching it the first time and it's like, you're just glued, like, okay, what's going to happen now? What's going to happen now?
I was hyped when I watched it in the theater, I was hyped. When I watched it at home, I was crying.
Yeah. Oh man, there is some crushing things in there.
It's rough.
It is.
I mean, oh god, I don't know if you want to spoil it, but
dude, Black Widow, they should.
Black Widow and Hawkeye. Oh god,
they should get Black Widow way more of a funeral.
Even with, and then Tony Stark's daughter. Jesus Christ, dude, it's just
Oh yeah, his
I love you 3000. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. All of it. I can't wait to watch it again, actually, just to see, because I haven't really checked it out since then. There's a lot to pick up on, and
let's do the top 5 games of the year.
All right.
Well, wait. I still got we still got to talk about number 1. Okay. So I had Hereditary at number 3,
Sorry.
which was Hereditary is a horror film from 2018. I thought it was one of the best horror films I've seen in a very, very long time. It's very brutal, very unexpected what happens in it. So,
if you want to scary thoughts on it,
they talked about it. Yes, they loved it. Yeah, and I think I had watched it before listening to that episode. Maybe I watched it after, but it was excellent. I had already had it on my list to watch because I'd heard things about it. But yeah, if you like very brutal horror, something that and very drastic curveballs in your plot, then watch Hereditary. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so did we all have Avengers at number 2?
Yeah, roughly. Yeah, Corey had it. Yeah.
And then what's our number 1?
I'm gonna say Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. Yeah.
We all agreed on it.
We have a unanimous
number 1. That was so fucking good.
Dude, it's still movie. People post clips from it like on Twitter, like little GIFs and stuff, and it's amazing. It's breathtaking to watch even just little snippets of the animation. I mean,
even besides the animation, the characters are fucking hilarious, dude.
The music,
everything.
Yeah.
The way it's shot, the way it was written.
Yeah, the way it was shot, the way
all of it.
When it's just so
heartbreaking.
Like everything about it was just
heartbreaking, dude. Prowler, the whole storyline with Prowler was just I was broken at certain points in that film. But in terms of animation, just unparalleled. I mean, like, there are very few films out there that have, if any, that have done something like that with the stop motion, with the
comic book panels that were
the mixing of media in it.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen Disney movies and Pixar movies in theaters, and I love them. I mean, I love them. I was raised on that shit. And my friends had to convince me, like, oh, yeah, we should go see Into the Spider-Verse. And I was like, I don't know, it's like an animated Spider-Man movie. And then we saw it in theaters, and I was like,
blew your mind.
That was the fucking coolest shit I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
Like,
I was
blown away. Blew away.
Was not expecting that.
I've seen.
Well, my son was 6 when he saw it, and he sat through the whole movie and was completely hyped in that one.
Hyped, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse, number 1. Yep, for sure.
Bravo.
All number 1.
Cool.
Games.
Moving on to games. All right, Jeff, what you got number 5?
Number 5, I did the Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Oh, nice.
I liked it, how it did a nice little side mission, little side story from Nathan Drake and everything. But
picking that
really
up
one done
tonight. Actually, because it's on sale for $10. So.
Oh yeah, definitely get it then. Definitely get it. 6, 7 hours, 8 hours maybe.
Great show. Chloe's cool. Yeah, they're cool.
Chloe and Nadine.
Yeah, they're cool. Yeah, it's a good story.
It's a good story.
If you like the Uncharted games, it's great.
Yeah,
and with a good story.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Corey, what you got? Number
5.
Number 5. Holy shit.
This is the list you were waiting for.
Hold on, I'm looking at the wrong list.
Oh.
Number 5, Astral Chain.
Astral Chain.
Yeah.
Did you beat it?
Yeah, I beat it.
You finished it?
I beat every game I put on my top 5.
Okay, I can't. There's just no way I would even fill out a top 5. But what would you recommend? Like,
Astral Chain was dope. It was a really hype action game it was super anime, and some mind-blowing shit happened. Like, it was really cool, and you get new abilities all the time, except the only thing, like, halfway through, you're just doing the same shit. You're just tying people up with your fucking astral chain. It was decent.
You got a little,
monotonous, repetitive.
Monotonous,
Yeah, it did. Yeah, for sure. But a really great game and a lot of And it's number 5.
Cool. Number 5, I had Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I think this was the year of fighting games to return to the to the forefront, apparently, because I think all of us bought a fighting game at some point this year.
I call it Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they capitalized that Z at the end, but yeah. Yes, I feel like if you're a Dragon Ball fan, it's a must buy. Absolutely. A Z fan, not a Dragon Ball fan. Dragon Ball Z fan.
I'm a big Dragon Ball fan.
It takes the original storyline and the characters and it adds a new story into it, which is not something that I thought was on the plate. The graphics look even better than the cartoon. I mean, it's like slightly 3D, but the action sequences are amazing. The powering up. I didn't even get into the whole social aspect of like meeting people in the lobby and stuff. I just played through the storyline, and it was awesome, dude. And I haven't beat a fighting game in like ages, and I beat that one. Nice. I think if you are a Dragon Ball Z fan, it's absolutely a must buy. And I'm looking for Kakarot in January. I cannot wait. So, yeah.
Yeah, motherfucker.
All right, Jeff, number 4.
Number 4, since you said it's a year of fighting games, I put Mortal Kombat 11 on.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat. Bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, bum.
Has it gone on sale yet?
I don't know.
No, it goes on sale a lot, but it's half off. It's still $30.
That's worth it.
I'm gonna get it, dude.
It's fun. You should get it, and we should fight each other. I haven't played in a while, so. But no, I had a really good storyline. A lot of fun play modes. I like
features. You would tell
the game modes. There was that one that was like an RPG style, sort of dungeon crawl kind of thing. You go through and unlock stuff and fucking.
That's freaking awesome.
Well, yeah. So they really nice. I haven't got any of the DLC characters. I haven't paid for anything like that. So sort of waiting. I think I'll probably get Joker when they release Joker.
Yeah.
And go from there. But I stopped playing it just because my son's too young to be seeing that kind of shit right now. Because
I'm not that young.
Even I let him play it, but that was not a good idea. But no, yeah, Mortal Kombat 11. A lot of fun. Good game.
All right. Corey, number 4.
Number 4. Best video games of the year. Number 4. What was my number 5?
You didn't write any of these down.
I wrote them down. Number 4, Far Cry 5.
Okay.
Nice.
Far Cry 5
Very nice.
was an excellent game. I really loved it. Far Cry 5. The New Dawn came out after it. Yes. Decent, but not nearly as good. I really loved Far Cry 5. People talked about how like they didn't like the main character and all that shit. No, I really liked Far Cry 5.
Far Cry 5 was awesome. I beat it last year, so I didn't put it, but I put New Dawn on my list because I beat it, and it was not as good, but it was fun to go back.
Yeah, but Far Cry 5 was great, dude. Yeah.
Very nice.
Around there, it's almost.
I played a good chunk of it and I loved it. Yeah, it just I think I forgot that I was playing through it, to be honest. Because you have like the games that come up on your PS screen.
Yeah.
So you're looking at like the top 5 that you played last.
Yep, the last 5. Yeah.
And I totally forgot that I was on there. So I'm glad that y'all reminded me. I'm gonna jump back into it.
The story in Far Cry 5 was decent.
Yeah, but it's the play.
The shooting and the playing was on fucking point. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
All the jumping on top of houses and
any of that, or the sniping or whatever, the helicopters, whatever you want to do,
Jeeps.
was on fucking point.
Unless I'm sniping and I suck at sniping. There was a few like video streams of me, and I was like,
unless you're a little bit challenged, it's mostly on point.
Yeah.
No, I totally.
I love Far Cry 5. It's and that was my first Far Cry game I ever played. I didn't play any of them.
Far Cry 3 was my first.
But
I
like
this one a lot better.
It was so great. Yeah.
Cool.
I love it. The animals, that fucking
animals. Yeah, the diseased
the
bears.
wild turkeys.
Oh yeah, they're fucking all awesome. The animals that are attack you, or the animals that are your friends, they're all awesome. It's so
dogs
great.
are best.
Yeah.
The dogs. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Cool.
Dog. He's your homie.
My number 4 was Hellblade. I struggled to put this on this list.
Did you beat it yet?
No, I'm almost there though. I'm right at the end. I kind of hate the game at the same time.
Yeah, you can't put it on your list yet.
I just
You had to.
Well, no, I feel like there's like moments in it that I really love that would have made it one of my favorite games. The story was unbelievable. The visuals are incredible. It's just that some of the play was like what the fuck are you making me do right now? Like I'm wasting hours looking for, I just felt like some of it was silly to ask of a player to do.
I 100% agree with you, Dirk.
Yeah,
as far as puzzles and games and stuff,
right?
Shit that slows you down.
Around.
I'm trying to play a game. I'm not trying to fucking use my brain and fucking.
It's not even about
figure
the
deep
brain,
things
like,
out. Like
the puzzles
just
to
trying
me,
to play a fucking game.
The puzzles to me didn't speak of like me trying to figure out, let's say, something similar to a crossword or a visual. It felt like I was just running around until I got lucky enough to remember to go back and do something else. With all the portals that kept shifting and I was like, y'all are asking too much of me as a player to do this right now. Otherwise, I thought it was great. But yeah, there are times that I wanted to throw my controller at the fucking screen, though. Absolutely.
Jack, number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3 was Far Cry New Dawn.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah.
Nice.
Just because I did beat it this year, so I put it on my list. I didn't beat many games this year, so I was sort of.
I like New Dawn. The bases you take on are fun.
Yeah,
it's fun to take on those bases.
I didn't like the antagonist as much in this one as I liked the Siege family.
Me either. Yeah.
But
Corey, what you got?
It was fun to go back and see what had changed after.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to see that. Number 3, I have Mario Tennis. Which is a great fucking game, dude.
I need to get
That's number 3 of fucking 2019 is Mario Tennis for sure.
Absolutely.
It's really good. I loved everything about it. And when it came out, it didn't have a ton of content, but they added a ton of shit. It's like Destiny. It's like one of those games where they realized they kind of fucked up releasing it. So they just gave you a bunch of free shit after that.
Oh, that's sweet.
And it's really good now. It has all the classic Mario characters, and it takes skill, and it's I don't know. It's weird. I'm a gamer, and I'm not a sports gamer, but I love golf games and weird shit like that. So
I love golf games.
And I love tennis games for some reason.
Tennis, absolutely.
It's
I'm not going to dispute that.
It's really good. I loved it. I'm
actually writing it down because I'm going to forget otherwise.
I mean, that boy's definitely top 5 of the past 10 years, in my point.
What? That is some wild.
Past 10 years. I'm not saying past 20 years. but really, really good. I had a ton of fun playing through Mario Tennis, and yeah.
Nice, cool. My number 3 was Breath of the Wild.
I'm so glad it's your number 3.
I don't even know if it's if where I am in terms of beating it. I imagine I'm still a ways off. But I feel like it's the same game that I'm gonna, if I got like 8 hearts right now, when I get to 15 hearts, it's still going to be the same game. So I don't think it's going to be something
once you get 10, you can go get the Master Sword. Once you get 10, you can go get the Master Sword. You can beat the game after 10, and it's pretty easy.
I'm not going to hate completely on it, Corey, because I know you had some issues with it. I do feel like it's a very different.
But...
Yeah, I know. I feel like it's a very different game from a Zelda game, typically. A typical Zelda game. It's like a lot more about resource management, and it's almost too off the rails in some ways, like where you kind of just wander around and figure out what's going on, and there's no real order to it in a lot of ways, it threw me off at first. But it is, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful game. The same things that make it problematic are probably the same things that make it great. I don't know. Yeah, it's something that I plan on jumping back into. I'm beating some other stuff right now. So, but I do love it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's gorgeous, and it's again, I have to give it points just for how different of a game it is than most other games that I play. So,
Sweet.
2, Jeff.
Number 2. So it took me a while to beat it, but I finally finished it this year, which was Watch Dogs 2. And this is my number 2.
Nice.
Because I really, overall, it's a really good story to it. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Makes fun of points out a lot of things that are problematic with technology overall, and just how society embraces technology.
I like that. You see, I would have totally passed that game up and not even looked twice, but the fact that you like it that much makes me want to play it just to check it out and see.
Oh, that's some good stuff. Good stuff.
Sweet.
I like that. They're going to be releasing that next Watch Dogs. Was it London? Or what is? I don't remember the name of it.
It's called something different, but it's the one where you can manipulate everyone. Legion.
Yeah.
Legion. That looks
Legion.
dope.
It does look really awesome. Dope. Absolutely. I can't wait.
So,
Corey, what you got? Number 2.
Number 2. I got Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
I saw that was the game of the year, huh? The Switch game
phenomenal
of the year.
Game. It's a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
I love that game the whole way through. Can
you speak to me as a non-Fire Emblem playing person? Like, I don't even know what that game is or what. Tell me, break it down like a short.
Yeah, definitely, easily. It's a strategy game. It's a grid-based strategy game.
Okay.
With battles. It's a grid-based battle strategy game with slice of life in between the battles.
Nice.
It's dope. You're making friends with different people. You make enemies with certain people. You make girlfriends with certain people, all while you're going through the fucking university and shit. And at the same time, it makes you into these fucking battles where you have to turn your fucking brain on and fucking use your strategy to beat the shit.
Well, I saw IGN gave it Game of the Year for the Switch. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's definitely Game of the Year for the Switch. It's not my Game of the Year, and I love the Switch. It's definitely my Game of the Year for the Switch if you're calling it. If you're calling it out per system, that's the Game of the Year for the Switch. For sure.
That's what they said also. I was surprised. I was like, wow, I didn't know.
It's
really I know you were talking great about it.
Really good. So I love that game.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't even like strategy. But honestly, I think all of us would like it. You, Jeff, all 3 of us would like it. It's turn-based strategy game, which is basically D&D.
Yeah.
It's you gotta count your squares to where you can move, and then you can attack, and you can only use certain moves and stuff.
It's totally D&D.
It's really good. I loved it. That was nowhere close to number 1, but definitely number 2.
Nice. My number 2 was Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. It's a Mario game, you know. I feel like they did take some chances in some areas, and
a little bit, yeah.
you know, they took some Mario mechanics and flipped it on its head and you know, sort of expanded. But that's what Mario games do. They take Mario mechanics and just go in a different direction with it and add on, and it gets included in that Mario breakdown.
But it's fun playing as those.
Oh, dude, I blazed through it. Yeah. Listen, if there's any telltale sign of how much I like a game, it's the time it takes for me to beat it. And I fucking blazed
you busted
through
that bitch out.
Yeah.
Quick.
Oh, dude, it was like a week or something.
Yeah.
I was like,
so when you started playing it, and the next week you were like, yeah, I beat Mario Odyssey. Like, damn.
And I never do that. I'm telling you. I lose interest, or like something distracts me, or I go play another game just to get a change of pace. But that tells you how much I like that game, because I just fucking did it all the way through, didn't look at anything else, and that was it. So, yeah, absolutely. There's nothing like hit you over the head amazing. It's not a game changer in any way. But in terms of just straight fun, I fucking enjoyed it, man. It was great.
Sweet.
I loved it. Jeff, what is your game of the year?
My game of the year? Guess.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order. You said this on social media, I believe. Yes. Nice.
It was that good. I had so much fun with that game.
A lot of people love it, man.
And every time I turn around, it was like something new. Just when you thought, okay, it's going to get boring, or you're going to try and this is the repetitiveness. This puzzle is going to be the repetition I have to do all the time.
Right.
Now they change it up, and they keep changing it up and getting the story moving, and the
story
end
was easy.
What?
What? Is that a real word?
It had no effect on the full official canon.
Well, but it doesn't have to, right? If it's self-contained in a game, you know.
Right.
I think that's. I like the idea of them expanding or using the universe to tell a different story that doesn't have to do with the fucking Skywalkers, you know.
Yeah, it was. No, it was. I really enjoyed it. I had so much fun, and it.
Also, we've been waiting for a good Star Wars game
for
a long time.
For as long as we waited, it was the game worth waiting for.
Yeah,
you're totally right. The way the Force powers have been so sick. I mean,
the way you gained your Force powers was, I loved it. I thought this is perfect.
How quick is it?
And the way your lightsaber...
It's not quick. 20, 25 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. The way your lightsaber upgrades, and the way your Force powers upgrades, and the way you can use it against the enemies is sick. I totally agree, Jeff. Like,
That's awesome.
It's a fun game.
I'm getting it for sure.
I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, it's a must buy.
Absolutely.
But I mean, honestly, this guy is no longer part of it. But I talked to my brother Nate, and just he brought up who knows, but. Well, he brought up the point that if it wasn't Star Wars, it wouldn't be a game that was on my radar, and I mean, I kind of agree, to be honest. Like,
so it matters that it was Star Wars.
Definitely, it definitely
like that has all the
Star Wars.
Okay.
Like,
I'm gonna check it out though, man.
Awesome game, and as a Star Wars fan, it's a must play. It's a must play if you're.
Absolutely. What's your number one, Corey?
Death Stranding. Death Stranding is my obviously. That's
What is it in the top 10 all time?
I mean,
is it a top 5 all time?
It's a top 3.
What?
It's a top 3, dude. It's so good.
I think you're saying that because it's fresh in your mind, but
no, I'm not.
Put it up against the heavy hitters.
I'm not. I'll put it up against the heavy hitters. I've never had a story or anything like that where I connect so much with the characters, and or any game like people talk like, oh, it's art. Oh, art shouldn't be a part of video games. No, like this.
But you love
I
it.
get. It's so fucking good, dude. Like,
it is awesome to hear you say that.
It's weird. Like a lot of people. Okay, here's the thing: is Kojima's dad had recently died after he made the game, and it's kind of a depressing game. And they don't. Not a lot of people.
Awesome,
not a lot of people make depressing games like
true.
that. And this time, November, December, it's like I have like kind of like a little bit of a seasonal depression. Not like I'm depressed or anything, but like, this is like the first, like it synced up with me so much, and I got myself in the shoes, and I was like, it was
a game that hit you at the right time.
Yeah, it hit me perfect, dude. And there's very few games that do that. Like it's a
game you could get like sort of ingratiated with and
I loved
connect
it.
with. Yeah.
It was like I would come home. I don't want to play video games, but I do want to try and make my next package delivery through these mountains. Like it was. I love Death Stranding. Like that's.
You know what I loved is how much you and Nate bickered over it. Because
Nate doesn't even like it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I love the fact that you guys
are
so split on it. I think he called it some boring shit.
He did. He did.
Really?
Wow.
He did.
It's not boring to me
at all. He never gives it a chance. He never gave it a chance.
I know.
I didn't put it on my list because I haven't beat it yet, so I wasn't even going to make a judgment call. I loved it. I liked that game a lot. And,
that's good to hear. You see?
Dude, I like features of that game. The online features of that game.
I know.
You'll be hiking through the mountains for 2 hours, climbing a fucking mountain, and just feeling like you're gonna die. And all your cargo is super damaged. And then you come over the cliff, and then some random person just leaves a marker that says "Keep on keeping on." And you're like, thank you, motherfucker. You're a great person.
That's crazy.
Keep on keeping on. It's like, it's so cool. And like the way they worked in multiplayer into it, and like, it's just everything about it. And the characters are so great, dude. Mama, Hartman, fucking all of them. That game was an experience for me. Like
that's what it's supposed to be. I think. I gotta say, Corey, you are the best salesman for this game. They need to just hire you on the commercial to explain exactly, because it would work wonders for it. I think it seems to be split down the middle with the gaming community. A lot of people that don't understand what's going on. A lot of people like you connect to it. So.
Well, I feel like people trying to play video games. It's not just a. It's not.
They're trying to rush through.
It's not a video game. It's not like a game that you fucking fight people and stuff.
It's a game you gotta live.
It's an experience. It's an experience,
right?
And it's an awesome experience if you just accept it and let go of the fucking norms of video games and just fucking sink yourself. Just like you said, with the only time you've heard me talk about that was with Geralt, with The Witcher.
Right.
And something else, but this is one of those times when I sunk myself into the game and I loved it. Like I really.
The best games do that. You know, you lose track of time.
I'm not thinking about what anyone else is talking about or anything. Right. I'm having an awesome time.
Agreed. I can't wait to jump into it. It feels like something though that I'm gonna have to like. Make sure my schedule is free of other things.
Right, you do.
And life.
That's the thing.
Before I can pay attention to it and really give it the love that it deserves.
Honestly, your life is almost too busy for it. Like, my life isn't decent. But this game was it hit point. It was awesome. I really love Death Stranding.
That's awesome. I can't wait to play it. I hate to be anticlimactic with this because my number one game is probably the opposite. But again, because you said like I've been like so crazy busy, this fits my my schedule. But my number one game is Link's Awakening.
Oh, that's fine, dude.
I love it. I just love how basic. It's just a straight Zelda game. Your traditional Zelda game. The swinging action with the sword is so fucking gratifying. Pressing that button, and like all the Zelda games, just swiping. Puzzles are great. The even the fucking cutesy graphics. I don't know. It just stuck with me, and it's one of those that I blazed through.
Have you gotten to the 2D points?
Yes.
Have you?
The 2D points?
Yeah, where you like Mario running through the 2D.
Oh yeah,
area.
yeah.
Nice.
They have Mario enemies in it.
That's
how crazy.
Goombas, right?
Yeah, they have the Goombas and
Goombas. Yeah.
There's a few things that come straight from Mario in there. There's I think they have the fireball wheels also.
Oh, nice.
Go over. So yeah, they obviously had fun doing it, played around with it, but in terms of like bringing it, it's just perfect for a Switch, dude. It's perfect. I mean, you can just take it, keep playing your Zelda game in bed. In fact, I'm totally gonna play some more after this. So.
No, I 100% want to buy that game, but I feel like it should be $20 for a remake. To be honest,
it should.
Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend $60 on a remake for a 10-hour game. Like that's.
I think they might have added some new content in there, but no, I agree. I totally agree. Yeah. Well, but this is Nintendo's thing. They just charge everything at fucking $40 minimum. Well, cool. That was our top 5 of 2019. Everybody, Jeff, thank you so much for coming in. Let's try to do this again, and here's to 2020. Next time we see you guys with this, it's gonna be probably the biggest year in video games that we've had in a very long time, if not ever.
Last of Us
2020
2,
is
Cyberpunk
poised to be the craziest year.
Very huge.
Yeah. What is it? Ghost of Tsushima?
Ghost of Tsushima? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, plus the reveal of the 2 next consoles. They have
Cyberpunk 2077.
It's gonna be
Cyberpunk and Marvel Avengers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be a big one.
It's gonna be a big year. So thank y'all for sticking with us. Obviously, we'll see y'all again next week. We are doing the CBBC number 13. Corey, you remember the books? I don't remember the books off the top of my head.
It's going to be a couple comic books that you should.
A couple comic books. Y'all read those comic books. And we mentioned it in the last episode, so I think it's something. It's a major and an indie. That's what I got. So check it out. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see y'all on the flip.
Catch y'all on the flippity flip.